Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where last episode we brought this guy in pretty close, but we had a big ol' physics kraken going on over here, and I was actually unable to stop it. So what I ended up doing was I reverted back to a previous save, and I cheated this craft into approximately the same location. You'll see it's definitely not exactly the same. I tried to get our fuel correct too, but that's just an estimate. I don't actually know how much fuel there was, but the fuel doesn't actually matter. We know that we had plenty of fuel, and that's fine. We're not planning on using it for anything. So that should be, in theory, okay. We need to get this thing in closer and dock it up. Under no circumstances are we going to physics warp near this station. Period. End of story. Lesson learned. We will be quick saving frequently, and if future Krakens emerge, then we'll have to see how that ends up going. Can we get the... No, I don't think we can quite get that docking port from here. Let's just head in at about... Oh, I haven't fired up this engine. Right. And that's, of course, because I cheated this in here. But that was just to fix the Kraken. We already got it closer than this without cheats, so I'm completely okay with that. We're going to need to turn this thing around, and I might be coming in too quickly. Guess we'll see. Of course, I didn't change anything on this. If I could have changed it without feeling like I was cheating, I would have added a stronger reaction wheel. But that is not a thing. So we're going to head on in, hopefully Krakenless. And yeah, I can definitely see we're going to want to add a little velocity this way anyway. So let's go ahead and do that in hopes that we end up missing the station rather than impacting it. That would be nice. We turn so very, very slowly. In fact, I'm going to add a little bit more velocity out over this direction. I think we're still going to impact it. Let's burn a little harder. There we go. We're going to try to flip around to target retrograde, and I want to set that Clampatron docking port as our target. Okay. So this is a slightly better position. Emphasis on slightly, and we're not really turning up this way the way I wanted to. We need to arrest this momentum. Okay. We're going completely the opposite direction. That is not ideal. Like I said, we have a hard time steering this thing, and I did previously move a fair amount of fuel into here so that we would change our center of mass, and I'm going to keep doing that. So we're going to redo that. Okay. And we're going to kill our relative velocity here. We've finally managed to make our way over to the relative velocity retrograde. Almost. Almost. We're just going to hold here. And... Yikes. This thing turns so very, very slowly. We don't have any gimbaling limit on this, so that's fine. Okay. We're going to get over here, and then we're going to warp to freeze the physics as soon as we're about as close as we're going to get, which is about there. There we go. And let's just bring this on down. And let's try to bring this in. Okay. We need to change our exact positioning here, of course. This is going to be a little awkward to get this thing docked up. And in retrospect, I definitely would toss on additional reaction wheels. Or, like, a large inline reaction wheel. That'd be a good way to do it. Okay, so what direction do we want to end up going here? I would love to physics warp here, but that is really not a great idea. We need to point... What direction is normal here? I want to point, like, this way towards this patch of space here. And it looks like normal is taking us that direction. I would love to physics warp, but that is just not legal. Because I don't want this to break again. The physics kraken showed up once, and I don't want it to show up again. Okay. It looks like normal is going to be approximately the direction I want. So that would be great. We can start burning here once we're facing about directly this way. So once we are in line with the camera here, or approximately in line with the camera, it's very, almost painfully slow turning right now. There's no doubt about that one. Okay, so this is as good as we're going to get in terms of normal. I think this way. We want to go this way. Definitely painfully slow, but this is going the way I want it to. This is not quite towards target, although we are getting closer to pro target here. And we're going to want to move in at just around 1 meter per second because we need time to turn around. So something kind of like this. Okay. We're going to flip around to target retrograde. Again, I would normally physics warp right now. That is not an option. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to, I think, pause the recording here, and we'll come back after we've finished this flip, maybe? You know, I don't actually think that's necessary, and also I've got streaming in, like, 25 minutes, so I kind of... I've kind of pressed it here in terms of my timing. It's not great. It's not great. So I should definitely just try to get this episode done. It's going to be a little bit of an awkward one, but it's my own fault, 100%. So I will own that. If we could physics warp, this would be a lot better, but I don't want to risk it with what happened with the Kraken last time. So that's fine. Once we get into position here on target retrograde, we're going to be able to time warp. I'm comfortable with that. I'm going to do a lot of quick saving here. In case the Kraken starts, I want to be able to revert back to a quick save. Okay, we are nearly in position here for the retrograde burn. And we're only moving at 1 meter per second relative to the station. Of course, we're going to want to target this docking port here, so we need to be a little bit different in terms of our actual targeting here. We're a little too far away, it looks like, still. But we're going to be able to time warp soon here, and time warping will be very helpful. Almost there. Little bit more. And we're good. So let's begin a 5x time warp. Maybe even a 10x. Yeah, 10x is fine. Okay, we'll bring this back, and I want to set this docking port as our target. I want to continue to scoot on by here. Okay. We're going to kill our relative velocity. There we go. Now we want to go this way a little bit. So in order to do that, or do we? Out of curiosity, how far out? Oh, the sun is going behind the behind Kerbal. For power's sake, just so that this doesn't happen again, we should probably actually time warp from here over to about here, 11 minutes in the future. So you can see we are drifting a little bit. That is to be expected. We could target this port instead. That is a possibility. Okay, so we set that as our target, and the sun should be coming up very soon here. We're going to warp about another minute. Okay, the sun is up now, so we don't have to worry about any power issues. I don't think it was a power issue that caused the Kraken to take this over in the last episode. I think that the actual issue there was the physics warping. But we can see if this is a good enough angle for docking forces, but I'm skeptical. I'm very skeptical. I think that we're going to need to go this direction a bit, and very, very minorly. So, no, not that way. This way. Okay, we need to warp to kill that momentum and go this way. Okay. There we go. So this needs to be an extremely minor amount of thrust, right? Because we're going to have to be able to turn around here. I'm going to thrust limit this guy down to like 2% thrust, something like that. I want to be parallel to this. And we will warp to freeze our physics there, burning in extraordinarily minorly. Okay, we're going to flip around at this point. And where are we going to go? I want to point at target. I just wanted to get a little bit of momentum out over this direction. So we're going to point at this target. This would be a lot easier if this thing turned. That's for sure. Okay. So let's see here. How are we doing in terms of our directionality? Okay. So we can definitely see that we need to head in towards the docking port here. This angle is awkward. We could turn the docking port. But I'm wanting to see what docking forces do here. I'm going to quick save in case we get a Kraken. But I'm pretty sure this isn't going to work. We impacted the port. Do docking forces turn us? Actually, maybe. We might need to head in a little bit towards it. But we are turning. Okay. There we go. We headed in a little bit. Okay. Obviously, this is a really weird angle, right? But I'm going to switch over to this guy, and we're going to control from here and set this as our target. And let's go ahead and point at the target. Okay. Like that. Ish. We're watching for Krakens. We may end up with a Kraken here. Point at target. And head on in. This could work. Our angle is still a little bit awkward, but there we go. We attached them up. Okay, I'm going to time warp here, and I'm going to quick save. And for now, we're going to turn the SAS off. Just watching to see if this Krakens. For now, it looks good. But we got this thing docked up. That is amazing. Okay. We have it quick saved. We're going to head back to the Space Center here and then reload it. The reason that I'm going to do that is to fully reload the physics. At this point, I want to not have that bend and bounce that was happening. That was a little bit suspect. We're going to try not to have that happening. And then we're going to need to distribute the thermal panels. But at this point, we're nearly ready. Once those thermal panels are distributed, at this point, we're basically ready to bring in an asteroid. And that'll be great. And we shouldn't have Kraken issues once we are attached to the asteroid in 3 locations. That should deal with it. Okay, so I do still see a bit of bend to these arms. And I mean, yes, this is not exactly straight up and down. We can change those if we want to. So we can have Bill EVA. And Bill is going to let go. Oh, and for the record, I want to just point out here that we don't have any of these on anymore. I turned those off when I reloaded the save because there wasn't a point. Okay, So we're going to have Bill come back over this way and head into EVA construction mode. Cool. And we're going to need to grab 6 of these guys. I know that we were able to grab them previously in our previous test. Yeah, there we go. It's just not showing up as green. That's fine. I'd like to attach them up over here temporarily. We'll see if we drift close enough to do that. I may have to put it over here for now. Oh, right. One thing I really want to do is strut this thing in. Okay, we're going to position it here. And we're going to grab this strut that we brought along for this exact reason and put it there. This strut here. This strut here. And this strut can go here. Okay, so that's strutted in. That's not going anywhere unless we unstrut it. We're not planning to detach that. So that's all good. Next up, I do want to get these panels distributed. So we're going to need to head off over this direction and grab the panel. And off we go. We're going to deposit it over here temporarily. That'll do for now. Let's not do the animation, Bill. Thanks. And let's not get the Kraken. That's the idea here. Okay. So now this thing, I would love to put it in right there, but you can see it wants to go in right here at this angle. I think that might be because of snapping. Let's toggle snapping. It wants to go in at the angle. It would allow this, which is a little awkward, but I guess it works. Sure. The other thing that we could do is we could mount it over here. I don't know if that would get the heat transfer that we're looking for. Maybe. We'll have to do some experimentation on the actual positioning of those. I also want to fix the positioning of these solar panels because they're going to bother me. So we're going to head in over this way. And I want to get this in something like that, I guess. Okay. We can always change that positioning later. This is actually not where I wanted it to go. We can put it in more like that. Now that's possibly going to be blocked by these solar panels. We could also mount them on these struts, which wouldn't necessarily be the worst of concepts. Kind of like that. Good job, Bill. Bill just not going the way I told him to and taking out one of our solar panels. Can we repair those with Bill? With repair kits, yes. Okay. Operation in progress, cannot detach, so we're going to have to just replace this one up here. You know what? For now, we'll call that good. We know that we're probably going to need to bring a power module anyway, and that's fine. So we're going to then grab ourselves one of these guys. Bill just blundering straight into that. I love it. And by love it, I don't mean love it. But we're going to head up over this way. And we will deposit this guy off over here. Okay, that'll do for now. Good job on the weld animation, Bill. And we're going to need to head down and grab another one. And that's completely fine. How are we doing on EVA propellant? Looks good. Cool. Okay, so we will head in over this way. And we're going to need to start heading up there, but we can always change that midstream. Let's grab this and head up over here. Okay. And we'll just attach this guy right over here for the time being. Anywhere we can over here is good. Okay, Bill, please don't do the animation right now. We need to change your velocity. Thanks, bud. Okay. So we'll head in over this way, and the question then becomes, do we awkwardly mount this one as well? We'll find out. What do we got for options here? That one can mount straight. I like it. So that's perfect. We can keep that retracted for now. These can be re-retracted, right? I'm pretty sure they can be re-retracted. At the very least, Bill should be able to re-retract them. Okay, this one wants to mount in at an angle, which I guess is fine. I wonder if we can rotate it from here. Yeah, we can do that. That's absolutely okay. We're going to go back into place mode, and we're going to head over this way, fix this one. I'd like to retract it as well. Okay. So we'll retract the radiator, and then we will go into rotate mode. We can definitely see that this thing is drifting a bit, but that's fine. We've got a bit of a tumble going on here. That's mostly because I'm trying to prevent krakens, so that's okay. We're going to need the 3 others, and we'll head down and grab them. Excellent. And of course, we're going to need to cool this guy as well, but that's okay for now. We're going to head up. And what's our angling looking like? Yeah, we're going to make it past here. That's good. We'll place that guy there, and we're going to need to head out over this direction a bit. So let's head out over here, and we'll just deposit this guy temporarily over this way. Once we can attach it. There we go. And we'll need to do the weld animation. Cool. And now we'll need to head back and grab another one. Our EVA propellant is at about half, so we're doing fine on that. Okay, good job, Bill. Good job. So we will prepare for this one, and we'll just head out over this direction for now. Might hit our head on that docking port. We'll see. No, looks good. Okay. And we're going to head up over this direction. Deposit this guy out over here, assuming we can. There we go. That'll do. And one more to distribute. Come on, Bill. There you go. Cool. We probably should bring up repair kits at some point, but honestly, we're going to need a power station anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it. We'll get the power situation sorted later on, once we figure out exactly what we end up needing. Okay, we'll position right. Nope. Come on, Bill. There you go. Okay. And we need to grab this guy, of course, as soon as we're in range. There we go. And we're going to head off over this direction. Cool. So we'll see about welding this on over here. I think we'll get in range. Yep, looks good. Bill is, of course, going to want to do the weld animation, but we'll just come to a stop here. And we need to mount these on. This one might be a little bit tight in terms of its positioning. We'll see. Actually, pretty good. I like it. So we'll weld these last 2 on, and that will be fine. This one will go on. It again wants to go on crooked. That's okay. We can fix that. Get that welded, Bill. Want to change your velocity. Thanks, buddy. Okay. That'll do. And we will just rotate this guy. Not like that. Close enough. Okay. Back into place mode here. And we're going to head off over this direction. I'm not 100% sold on the positioning of these, and I'm not 100% convinced that one is going to keep 2 drills cool. So that'll require a little testing, or, looking at tooltips, but that sounds like work. So we're going to test it in orbit, what could possibly go wrong, and we'll just get that positioned. And there we go. We've got our thermal control systems in place, so at least we have some cooling. So that'll be fine. We'll have Bill hop back in and refresh his EVA propellant, and he can replenish, he can do the cooling here as well if he likes. But at this point, I think that we're basically ready-ish to bring in an asteroid and hope that the Kraken doesn't strike. It'd be very awkward if the Kraken did strike as we were bringing in the asteroid, but overall, I think I have a decent mitigation system in place as long as we quick save frequently enough. Okay, so we grab on and hop on in. And there we go, quick save. Beautiful. There is that project complete. So at this point, we are ready to bring in our first test asteroid and see how this goes. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to bring that guy in. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, Sigma162, JJ Gamer, Spartan News, Rose Valentine, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.